the next presenter, Dr. Sonam, if she's here. And the speakers are requested to please follow the time limit. Thank you. Dr. Sonam, please.
Very good evening, everyone. I'm going to discuss a couple of cases with having multimodal imaging in brittle corneal syndrome. So brittle corneal syndrome is a ultra rare disorder. It is an autosomal recessive condition which involves the connective tissue, and it is presented usually with extreme thinning and fragility of the cornea. It's a complex condition with limited treatment options, and the genetic mutations responsible are ZNF469 and PRDM5 mutations. So our first case was this 4-year-old boy who was born out of a consanguineous marriage. He presented to our clinic following trauma to his left eye with a plastic. It was a trivial trauma, and he had undergone primary surgical repair, and he was otherwise a preterm child with no history of any history of surgery in the past, and his elder sibling was diagnosed with primary congenital glaucoma and was on anti-glaucoma medication since birth. On examination, the child was highly uncooperative, and the best corrected visual acuity, that was roughly 624 in the right eye and 660 in the left eye. Here we can see in the right eye there's bluish in the gross examination there's bluish discoloration of the sclera. Along with that, there is thin, a well-formed AC with a clear cornea in the right eye, while in the left eye we have inferior corneal scarring with some sutures. On doing his pentacam, we could see the extremely thin corneas with a thinnest pachymetry of 232 in the right eye and 129 microns in the left eye, without any posterior elevation, ruling out keratoconus. So fundus evaluation also did not reveal any specific problem. We did see on a gross physical examination there was dolichocephaly, which is noticed in the child as well as his father. Other than that, the parents' ocular examination was within normal limits. So we decided to go for genetic testing, keeping in mind the blue sclera and the dolichocephaly finding and thin corneas. So he was found to have ZNF469 autosomal recessive mutation, which is suggestive of brittle corneal syndrome type 1. So the family was counseled for further evaluation in the form of ENT consultation, because these children are known to have highly elastic and mobile tympanic membrane, leading to conductive hearing loss as well, which was normal in this child, and protective polycarbonate glasses were advised. Along with that, we was also advised to avoid contact sports. Along with that, we even asked the family members to bring his sibling also for examination. So he subsequently underwent secondary IOL implantation in the left eye, because which was aphakic post-injury, and caution was practiced during a procedure, because we had to tell the general anesthesiologist not to apply any undue pressure on the cornea, because even a trivial pressure on the cornea may lead to a rupture as well. And we also ensured that all the ports were sutured. But to our disappointment, 6 months later, the child presented to us again with trauma to the other eye. That also was a very trivial trauma. He was just writing with a pencil, and I think the other end of the pencil, like with the eraser, just hit his eye, and he had a perforation. The parents took a little longer, like they took a week to reach to us. So ultimately this required a patch graft, and we sent the tissue for histopathological examination, which showed a markedly thinned out cornea with a thickness which was similar to our pentacam finding, that is around 126 microns. But the epithelium, endothelium, Bowman's membrane was otherwise normal, with a few foamy stromal changes on all stains. That is, this is the Congo red stain, the mesenteric stain, PAS stain, and Alcian blue. Then coming to because the child had this hyperactivity, we even got him evaluated by the psychiatrist, who diagnosed him to have features of hyperactivity going in the ADHD spectrum. On last follow-up, we can see that there's presence of a patch graft, clear patch graft and clear cornea, and the other has a well-centered IOL, and his visual acuity finally was 624 and 618 with normal intraocular pressures. On doing a sibling screening, as I told you that he was diagnosed with PC, primary congenital glaucoma. His EUA notes in the past revealed the pressure was normal, with a diameter of only 11.5 mm in both eyes. Because his corneas were too prominent, I think they thought that it was PCG. So on coming to his examination, he also had bluish sclera. On doing a pentacam, he also had thin corneas, but his corneal thickness was above 300 microns. So that could be the reason why he did not have any corneal perforation or any trivial trauma after trivial trauma. So the main purpose of this presentation was to say that we must keep the diagnosis of brittle cornea also in children who are basically presenting to us with trivial trauma, And misdiagnosis as primary congenital glaucoma is also present because of the steep corneas, and also getting them the psychiatric evaluation, because these children who have ADHD could be more prone to trauma, and protective eyewear is again advised in such children. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sonam. And one more query from our side is that with ADHD spectrum and this being prone to trivial trauma, how are we supposed to give, other than this protective specs, some lubricants or bandage contact lenses are any options?
So actually bandage contact lenses would again predispose the child to trauma, because anything like a trivial trauma to the eye can lead to perforations. They are very fragile corneas, and if we advise them bandage contact, that's why the BCL is basically not advised in such cases.
Okay.